Hey guys, so this week I did a 1 week, 1 palette challenge with my Anastasia Soft Glam palette. You guys voted on this one. I did a poll on my community tab a week or so ago. So in this video, you're going to see 7 tutorials using this palette, 7 different looks. The one I'm wearing right now is look number 7, so stay tuned to the end if you want to see this one come together. But I feel like there is something for everyone in this video, whether you like really light, soft, simple looks, or you like more dramatic, smoky looks. I did it all. So if you own this palette or something similar and you want some inspiration for looks that you can do with it, this is the video for you. I had so much fun putting this together. So my goal for this 1 week challenge was to use this palette every single day and to really just use this palette alone, not pull in any other shadows. And I also had the goal to use each shade at least once. Overall, I just had a lot of fun this week and it really inspired me to do more similar challenges like this. I've also done 1 month, 1 palette challenges in the past, but I feel like the 1 week was really nice because I was able to actually film a tutorial every single day using the palette, which I feel like is just a little bit more informative than the 1 month challenges where I have like 24 looks and I couldn't possibly do a tutorial for every single one, you know? So anyway, I think that is all for this intro. Let's go ahead and dive into the looks starting with day 1. Alright, so for look number 1, I kind of want to do like a smoky gold look. I'm going to start out by laying down some of tempera here into my crease and brow bone just to kind of set that part of my eyelid primer, and I use the Urban Decay Primer Potion today. I just like to set from the crease up. Alright, from there I'm going to take Burnt Orange into my crease as my transition color, and for this I'm using the BK Beauty 201. Alright, then I'm going to take Rustic, which is a slightly deeper brown, and target that more into my crease with this BH Cosmetics Studio Pro 5 brush. And I'm also taking a little bit of that into my outer corner as well, just to start kind of defining that area. Alright, next I'm going to take this deepest brown called Cypress Umber on my BK Beauty 207, which is a nice kind of detailed pencil brush, and start kind of carving out the outer corner. I really want that to look nice and defined. And I am taking some of that into my crease as well. I'm going to go ahead and take what's left on the brush onto my lower lash line. Just kind of start smoking that out a bit. We're going very smoky fall glam today. Notice I didn't even have to pick up any more on my brush. That shade is so pigmented as it is. Alright, next I'm taking some of my favorite NYX glitter primer, and I'm just going to tap a little bit of this onto my lids. Just this part that's blank right now, this is where I'm going to be placing my shimmer. And I really want that shimmer to look nice and foiled. Then I'm going to pick up some of the shade Bronze and apply that all over my lid. I'm just going to use a finger to apply this. And I'm basically laying that right over where I applied the NYX glitter primer. Then I'm grabbing that BH Cosmetics Studio 5 brush with nothing else on it, and I'm just going to sort of blend out that edge there. And I'm taking my fluffy BK 201 and blending out the very edge with no additional product on it. Alright, going back in with a little bit of tempera again, just to highlight this area and clean up that edge. For my inner corner, I'm going to grab Fairy, which is this more yellowy, like soft champagne gold, on an old EcoTools smudge brush. Taking it up a little. Taking a little bit more of Cypress Umber, and just redefining that in my outer corner. I feel like because this look is so glam, I'm going to just go in with a nice crisp black wing, so I'm using my ABH Black Liquid Liner. For mascara, I'm using my Ilia Fullest Volumizing Mascara on the top lashes. Alright, for my lips, I'm going to go a nice kind of vampy berry, so I'm using my Jordana Easy Liner for lips in Plush Plum. And then over that, I'm going to apply my Charlotte Tilbury little mini lipstick in Amazing Amal. Alright, so there's the look for day 1. I love how this turned out. I feel like this would be the perfect look for any kind of formal event or holiday party. I know we're like a few months out from any sort of holiday gatherings, but I feel like this look just embodies soft glam. Alright, happy day 2. So yesterday's look was a very like warm brown and gold kind of look. Today I want to go a little bit rosy because I love the rosy tones in this palette. So eyelids are already primed with the Urban Decay Primer Potion, and As always, I'm going to take tempera and just set from the crease all the way up to the brow bone. Low-key, kind of want to see if I can hit pan on this shade this week. Alright, then I'm going to pick up some of Dusty Rose on this BK Beauty 201 brush and just kind of lay that down as my transition shade. Alright, next I'm going to take some of this beautiful deep burgundy shade called Mulberry, and I'm going to carve out my outer corner with that using the BK Beauty 207. I kind of start by just packing it on to that like outer third right above my upper lash line, and then I slowly work it into kind of this outer V area, and then I take a little bit of that into my crease. And this is where I can really decide if I want the look to be more like rounded or do I want it to be kind of more angled outward, like a cat eye type of thing. Kind of going just with the shape of my eye, slightly up, slightly outward like a wing. Then I'm going back to my fluffy crease brush with no additional product on it and just sort of blending out those edges a little bit. Actually, I'm going to pick up a little bit more of Dusty Rose just to kind of mesh those two shades together. Next, because I have it right in front of me, I'm going to use my NYX Glitter Primer. Probably wouldn't always do this, but I feel like just because I have it right here, I'm going to use it. Again, just tapping that onto the part of my lid that's still blank. This is where I'm going to be applying my shimmer shades, and I just want them to really pop. Alright, next I'm going to take some of Rose Pink on just the shader brush that comes with the palette and apply that to kind of the center of my lid. And I feel like having the NYX Glitter Primer on there helps me just build this shade up so much faster than I otherwise would. That is so pretty. Alright, next I'm going to take the shade Glistening, which is currently the only shade that I have hit pan on. And this is like a slightly more rosy gold than Fairy, which is the one we used yesterday in the inner corner. And I'm just going to take this on the inner third of my lid. And I am overlapping it just a little bit with Rose Pink, just to create a nice seamless blend. And I feel like that almost makes it look like I have like one duochrome shade on my lid, because it's almost like my lid shifts from the pink to the gold. And because I have it in my hand, I'm just going to use that crease brush with nothing on it. Blend over everything once again. You can never blend too much. And then I'm just going to take some more of that glistening shade on this little smudge brush and take that all around my inner corner. Going back to this BK Beauty 207, the brush I used in my outer corner, and I'm just going to take whatever's left of that, which was the shade Mulberry, onto like the outer half of my lower lash line. Picked up a little bit more of that shade. Alright, then to kind of finish everything off, I'm going to pick up some of Tempera to sort of blur everything out, highlight my brow bone, and also just clean up that edge. Alright, then for eyeliner, I'm taking my CoverGirl Kohl eyeliner in Rich Brown, and just smudging that along my upper lash line, just as close to the lash line as I can get it, and then I am going to create a little bit of a wing. I'm taking my BK Beauty 208, I picked up a little bit of that liner on the brush, and I'm just going to create a little wing here. And using some of my Ilia Fullest Volumizing Mascara on the top lashes, then a little bit of CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume in Brown on my lower lashes. Alright, curled my hair, I'm back. And for the lips, I'm going to wear a combination of the Urban Decay lip pencil in Manic and the Ofra liquid lipstick in Laguna Beach, both of which are in my project pan, but I think they're going to go really nicely with this kind of rosy look. Alright, so there's the final look for day 2. I love how this came out. This is a very me look. I love any kind of dusty rose eye look. I feel like this would make a great like everyday work or school look, or even like a soft like bridal or bridesmaid type of look. I think it's really pretty, really classic. And yeah, so that is day 2. Let's go ahead and hop on into day 3. Alright, so it is day 3 and I am wearing a very like mustardy yellow sweater. So I want to kind of keep that in mind as we do this look. First I'm going to start out by setting my primer from the crease up with Tempera. As always, I'll probably be doing this every day. Alright, so next I'm going to go into the shade Orange Soda with my BK Beauty 201. And this is going to be our transition shade. Really nice, like light peachy orange color. Alright, from there I'm going to pick up some of Burnt Orange, which is like a slightly deeper, kind of medium brown. Kind of want to do a halo eye today, guys. let's just do it, just to switch it up a bit. So I want to give you guys like as many options with this palette as possible. So I'm going to go in with the shade Burnt Orange here, and I'm going to kind of target that more in my crease and also into the inner and outer corners. And I'm using my BH Cosmetics V5. The thing for me with halo eyes is I need to stick to a fairly light shade in my inner and outer corners. Like no deeper really than like Burnt Orange, maybe Rustic. If I go too deep, then my eyes look way too like sunken in. So I might just kind of leave it at that for now. And then for the middle of my lid, I'm going to use the shade Fairy, which is that kind of more yellowy champagne gold. And packing that on the center. Oh, it's such a pretty shade. Then I'm just taking my original blending brush, the BK 201, and blending over that with no additional product. Particularly paying attention to the sort of edges of that shimmer shade. Just want to get that nice and blended together with the matte. All right, I'm going to take a little bit more of Burnt Orange, and actually I'm going to mix that with Rustic for my outer, at least for my outer corner, just to add a little bit more definition there. Might do the same for the inner, haven't decided. Just going to smudge any leftovers on the brush onto my lower lash line. I think I am going to leave the inner corner, the inner third, with just Burnt Orange, because I feel like that is plenty deep enough for my inner corner. I'm going to take just a little bit more Burnt Orange there. And then on my finger, just going to grab a little bit more of Fairy and redefine that on the center of my lid. Blending the edges again. It's a lot of just back and forth on this look between shades until I get them to their desired intensity and blendedness. I don't even want you to be able to see like where one shade stops and the other one begins. All right, taking a mix of Rustic and Burnt Orange again on my lower lash line, just kind of focusing that on the outer half. And then I am going to take a little bit of Fairy on just the center of my lower lash line. All right, we are just about done. Last step, as always, just grabbing tempera again and highlighting my brow bone and cleaning up the edges. Alright, so I feel like this look is the perfect opportunity to wear a brown mascara. I'm not going to wear any liner today. This is the CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume in brown. Alright, for the lips, I want to do a warm peachy nude, so I'm going to wear a combo of my Mented Peach Lip Pencil and my Urban Decay Vice Lipstick in Liar. Alright, so that is look number 3, a beautiful kind of soft, mustardy halo eye. I kept it pretty light, but if you wanted to go deeper with this, you could use more of Rustic or even Cypress Umber and Sienna in your inner and outer corners to deepen this up. And I love how it pairs with that lip color and the brown mascara. I just think it's a nice, like soft, everyday fall kind of look. Alright guys, welcome to day 4. Let's go ahead and start out this look as always with a little bit of tempera to set my primer in the crease and up to the brow bone. Y'all, I think we just hit pan on this shade. Was wondering if that might happen this week. Can you see that? It is the tiniest little glimmer of pan. I'm sure it'll start to show through more as we continue this week. I kind of want to do a look mainly featuring Sultry today. So I'm going to go ahead and start out my crease with some of Dusty Rose, which is that nice cool toned Dusty Rose color. And that is going to be our kind of initial transition shade. Alright, next I'm going to take the shade Mulberry, which is this nice deep burgundy color. And I'm going to apply that to my outer corner with my BK Beauty 207. And I'm actually going to take this a little bit further in than usual. I think I'm going to put this on kind of like the outer half of my lid rather than like the outer third like normal, because I'm going to layer Sultry over this, and I think this will make a nice like base to overlap underneath Sultry a little bit. So I'm just kind of getting that laid down where I want it, then the blending will take place later. Then going back to my fluffy crease brush and not adding any additional product, just going to blend out those edges in kind of circular motions. All right, next I'm going to pick up Sultry, and I think I'm just going to apply this with my finger, and I'm just going to pack that in like the center of my lid. I am going to leave the inner third open for now. This shade is quite flaky. It's kind of similar to the shimmers in the Norvina palette, so I try to pick up like as little as possible on my finger. Otherwise you will get fallout with this shade. Next I'm going to take some of Rose Pink, and I want this in my inner third. I like to keep the inner third of my eye pretty light. And then, you guessed it, blending again. Alright, next for the inner corner I'm taking Glistening. Alright, and then on my lower lash line, I'm just taking the same brush that I used for Mulberry, the burgundy, and taking whatever's left on that brush and smudging it on my lower lash line. Really don't want this to be too dark, but I do want to define that area. I'm just kind of connecting that to the outer corner. Alright, then last step, as always, taking a little bit more of Tempera and highlighting my brow bone and cleaning up those edges. Alright, so now you can really see that pan on Tempera. So exciting! I was hoping that we would hit pan on at least one shade, hopefully more. I mean, we still got a few more days. Alright, I actually think for this look I want to take some of Noir. This is a beautiful matte black, and do like kind of a soft smoky winged liner. I feel like that'll look really nice. So I'm just using my BK Beauty 208, slowly building that up on my upper lash line, and then I'm gonna wing it out. And this brush is so precise, it makes it really easy to get like a nice sharp wing there. Alright, for mascara, I'm using the E.L.F. Lash It Loud on the top lashes and the CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume in Brown on the bottom. Alright, on my lips, I feel like this is the perfect look for the Bite Power Move Matte Lipstick in Sugar Buns. This is a gorgeous, like, dusty, rosy matte color. Alright, so there is the look for day 4. I, once again, love how this came out. I feel like this is another look that totally fits the soft glam theme of this palette, and it's a beautiful fall look. I love like dusty rosy mauves like this. I think they're so beautiful this time of year. Alright friends, it is day 5 and I am actually getting ready to go to my friend's dance performance in a couple hours, and so I kind of want to go a little bit like extra glam today. So as always, I'm going to start out by setting my eyelid primer with Tempera just from the crease up. So I'm going to start out with the shade Orange Soda as my transition color, and I'm using my MOTD Seamless Sheer Blend to apply that. Just a big fluffy brush. And then from there I'm going to pick up Burnt Orange, the shade right below it, on a BK Beauty 202, which is just a slightly more tapered crease brush. And I'm going to target that a little bit more in the crease. And then on an even smaller crease brush, this is the E.L.F. crease brush, I'm going to grab Sienna and target that even a little bit more in the crease and also the outer corner. But I'm thinking I might go in with the black in the outer corner as well, so I'm not going to apply too much of this to the outer corner just yet. Yeah, I'm actually mainly just going to focus this in the crease. Alright, then I'm going back to my first fluffy crease brush and just blending over all of that. Alright, from there I am going to get kind of bold. I'm going to grab some of Noir on my little BK Beauty 207 pencil type brush, detail brush, and I'm going to apply that to my outer corner. I don't usually do this. Don't usually wear black eyeshadow unless it's for like a liner, but sometimes it can be fun for like a very glam look. I'm actually taking that in like almost to the center of my lid because I am going to layer over that with the bronze shade. Alright, next I am taking some of my NYX glitter primer and taking a tiny dab of that on both lids, just on the space where I'm going to be applying my shimmer. I'm going to go back to this E.L.F. crease brush, that smaller brush, and just start to blend out these edges of that black shadow. So next, the moment we've all been waiting for, I'm going to take bronze and apply that all over my lid, and I'm even going to overlap it a little bit with the black. I don't know why, I used to hardly ever use this shade, but it really is a gorgeous shade. I don't know why I haven't used it more, but it's so pretty. This would be a beautiful like New Year's Eve look actually, now that I'm thinking about it. That is so pretty, especially with the black right next to it. Oh, I love that. Alright, I feel like I do need to go over the black just a tiny bit to kind of redefine it since got kind of covered up by the gold. And I really am building this black up so slowly, like barely tapping my brush in each time until I get it as dark as I want it. Alright, taking whatever's left on this brush and I'm just going to smudge it on my lower lash line. I'm just going to take a little bit of burnt orange on my E.L.F. crease brush again and just very lightly blend out those edges some more. I accidentally just picked up this shade instead of this one, but on this eye only. It actually doesn't look too bad though, so I'm just going to take a little bit of that and put it on this side too to balance it out. Oops. Alright, taking my fluffiest crease brush again and blending, blending, blending. Just blending a lot, okay? Alright, you know I need a little inner corner highlight. I'm going to use Fairy today, the more yellowy of the light champagne golds. Tap that onto the inner corner. I'm actually taking that onto the lower lash line too, just like halfway across to kind of brighten it up a little bit. I think that's pretty. Making sure each side is symmetrical with the gold. I'm going to take a tiny bit more of bronze on my finger over here and just pat it on the middle, and then back with this brush just to blend out that edge a little. I want it to be very seamless. Finally, as always, grabbing a little bit more of tempera for my brow bone and to clean up the edges. Alright, I feel like this look definitely needs black liquid liner, so I'm just using my ABH liquid liner. And then I want a nice dramatic lash, so I'm going to use my E.L.F Fullest Volumizing Mascara on just my top lashes. So we're going to be wearing masks like the entire night, so a lip color probably isn't even necessary, but for the sake of this look on camera, I will go ahead and put on a lipstick. I'm trying to decide what I should do. I'm kind of feeling a nice bold red. Alright, I think this nice warm red from Cloven Hallow is really pretty for this look. This is the shade Fiesta. Alright, ooh, this is such a holiday look. This was going to be a fall look, but I feel like it just turned very holiday very quickly, and I'm not mad about it at all. I'm so excited for the holidays too. So another great look for a holiday party, New Year's Eve, Christmas. I mean, I'm already in Christmas mode apparently. This is just such a classic. Like, I wouldn't even say soft glam, I would just say glam. That's how I would describe this look. Alright, happy, what is it even now? Day 6? So today's look is going to be another very like soft, light, airy, fresh look. This would be, you know, just one of those looks that I throw on before I go to the grocery store or just, you know, out for brunch or something. I don't know, as if I'm going out for brunch that often. Let's start out, of course, with tempera as always. Look at that beautiful pan. I'm so happy that we hit pan on that shade. Didn't know if we could do it. But I've already primed my lids. I'm just setting my primer from the crease up. Alright, then I'm going to take Dusty Rose. I'm just taking that on a BK Beauty 202 brush and buffing that into my crease. And I'm also taking that same shade and building it up in my sort of outer corner. This is as deep as this look is going to get. I'm not really going to deepen it up with any other shades, so I feel like this shade gives me just like a nice amount of soft definition. But if you wanted to go even deeper with this, you could take the shade Mulberry to define your outer corner if you wanted a little bit more, or even like Cypress Umber. From there, I'm taking the shade Glistening, which is this beautiful like soft rosy gold champagne, and that is going to be my lid color. And I'm taking that on a BK Beauty 203 brush, which is just like a nice shader brush. I love the pairing of a soft, like dusty lilac like that with a light gold champagne. I just think that is such a gorgeous, flattering pairing. And I'm just applying that to like basically the inner 2/3 of my lid. And I'm also going to take this in to my inner corner, picking up a little bit more of Dusty Rose and just redefining that on the outer corner. Last but not least, picking up Tempera and highlighting my brow bone with that shade and blending out that edge. And that is pretty much it. I'm not even going to put any shadow on my lower lash line, keeping this very, very light and fresh. Told you it was going to be very simple. For liner, I want to do just a soft black pencil on my upper lash line. I'm just using my CoverGirl Exhibitionist 24-Hour Kohl eyeliner in black. And I'm going to Smudge that along as close to my lash line as possible. And then I am going to wing that out with my BK Beauty 208 brush. Let's pick up a little bit. For mascara, I'm going to use my E.L.F. Lash It Loud on the top. And I think I might just leave my lower lashes bare as well. Alright, on my lips, I'm just going to wear a nice light nude pink gloss. This is the Nude by Nature gloss in Tea Rose. I talked about this in my video about products that I have been neglecting, so here I am using it. Alright, and that is the look for day 6. Such a simple, easy look. What do we use? 3 shades total. You could even make this even simpler and skip tempera altogether and just use glistening and dusty rose. But yeah, honestly, if I'm just in a hurry, this is my go-to look right here. So hope you enjoyed this one, and I will be back tomorrow for the last day, day 7. I'm so sad the week is almost over. I've been having so much fun. Alright, hey guys, so it is the last day, day 7, and today I want to do something kind of out of my comfort zone and very classic fall, but it's something I don't often do. I want to do a very matte brown, like toasty, smoky eye. I know that sounds like, what, brown is out of your comfort zone, but I hardly ever do all matte looks, and I don't normally do like a slightly deep brown like all over my lid, so I feel like this is a good palette to do that with because it does have a lot of matte browns in it. So I am going to start out as usual with tempera to set my eyelid primer from just the crease up, just to help with blendability. Alright, then the shade that I want to wear all over my lid is the shade, I'm thinking it's going to be burnt orange. I might go over that with rustic if I want it even deeper, but I'm going to start out by laying burnt orange all over my lid. This is kind of a mid-toned warm brown, and I'm using the BK Beauty 206 brush to just pack this all over. This is a slightly fluffy shader brush, so I feel like it's good for not only like packing on but also blending. Yeah, I think that was a good shade for my lid. And I'm going to just blend this up. Then I'm going to go into the shade Orange Soda, which is a lighter, like warm orangey matte. And I'm just going to use this to blend out that edge, and I'm using this old EcoTools crease brush. Alright, next I do want to take the shade Sienna and kind of deepen up my outer corner and crease a little bit with that. That's the very like reddish brown here. I'm using my E.L.F. crease brush, which is a slightly smaller, more targeted crease brush. Just going to kind of apply that to my outer V here. And then any excess of that shade, I'm just kind of smudging onto my lower lash line, kind of connecting my lower lash line to that outer corner. Taking just a fluffy crease brush with nothing on it and blending out all those shades. Then I'm taking Rustic, which is a slightly more neutral medium brown, and putting some of that in my crease as well with the E.L.F. crease brush. Kind of making a point to use all of these matte browns today, especially because I'm always saying I don't really use brown eyeshadow, especially like on its own all that often. Just wanted to kind of push myself to use those today. Alright, finally taking this BK Beauty 207, which is kind of a detail pencil brush, and I'm going to dip into Cypress Umber, which is the deepest brown, and I'm going to smudge that right above my upper lash line, taking that only about halfway across my lid. Then I'm taking a small angled brush from BK Beauty again. Can you tell I like their brushes? And I'm just going to define a little bit of a wing. I want the wing to be sharp, but I also want this to be a very soft, kind of blown out liner at the same time, you know what I'm saying? I want to go back over like the main part of the lid with burnt orange just to bring that back. Redefine that shade, then grabbing a little bit more of Sienna and bringing that back to the outer corner. Just about done, kind of just putting on the finishing touches. Then with that same E.L.F. crease brush, I'm taking some of Orange Soda and just blending out the very edge with that shade. Even going to take some of Orange Soda down here on the lower lash line to kind of blend out Sienna. See what I mean? How this is just not the kind of look I do very often at all. I like it. Okay, obviously I have to do an inner corner highlight. I mean, I can do an all matte look up to that point, but there's gotta be an inner corner highlight. So I'm gonna take Glistening, just that light champagne-y color, and tapping that onto just my very inner corner. All right, and final step, grabbing a little bit more of tempera and highlighting my brow bone. All right, I'm gonna take my Project Pan eyeliner. This is the CoverGirl Kohl eyeliner in Rich Brown. And I am actually gonna tightline my top lashes with this. And I'm going in with my E.L.F Fullest Volumizing Mascara on the top lashes. Then just gonna take a little bit of the CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume Mascara in brown on my lower lashes. Alright, on the lips, I think the perfect lip for this look is this E.L.F Seriously Satin Lipstick in Nectar. This is such a beautiful fall nude. It's like a toasty pumpkin spice nude. Alright, so there is the final look for day 7. I love this look. This makes me want to do all matte looks more often. I think it's just so pretty and like warm and cozy, but still like very smoky and sultry. I love it. And that E.L.F lipstick in Nectar, the perfect fall nude. I love it so much. So that concludes my 1 week 1 palette with the Anastasia Soft Glam palette. I had a lot of fun with this. This honestly isn't even my favorite ABH palette, but this week made me like this palette a lot more. It really showed me how much versatility you really do get in this palette. I feel like we did a little bit of everything this week. I feel like there was something for everyone. If you have this palette, I hope that it gave you some inspiration for looks that you could try with it, especially if you haven't pulled it out in a while. Dust it off, maybe try out one of these looks. And for those of you that are like Project Panners or just like to see like the progress and the wear from a week of use, I'm gonna go ahead and put 2 clips on the screen from the start of the week and what the palette looks like now so you can see how much progress I made. Like I said, we did hit pan on 1 additional shade, which is so exciting. I wasn't expecting to hit pan on any shades in a week, so I feel like 1 pan in a week is pretty good. I've also got pretty big dips on a few of these shades like Rose Pink and Fairy. If I were to spend another like week or 2 focusing on this palette, I probably would hit pan on those. And if you are a numbers person, I am going to pop a photo on the screen to let you know how many times I used each of these shades. My most used shade by far was Tempera. I used that 7 times, all 7 days this week. That is my usage breakdown for this week. It was really fun to do a 1 week challenge. I've never done a 1 week 1 palette. I've only ever done 1 month 1 palettes. So it was kind of fun to just really intensively focus on a palette for a week. This was the only palette I used. I didn't pull in any other shades from other palettes. It was fun to really just see what all I could create with just this palette and this palette alone. So I hope that you enjoyed this video and got some inspiration from it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you'd like to see more 1 week 1 palettes in the future. And otherwise, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and hopefully I'll talk to you again very soon in my next video. Bye!